Hi there, I'm Johanna Lee, and today I wanted to talk about three different options in Microsoft Office products that I use kind of time and time again. And so recently I saw my parents, and we had gotten my mom a Apple Watch for her birthday, and we were asking her, how do you like it? And she said, well, I love it, but I haven't gotten into the options to kind of make the experience more fun. And it kind of just made me think about different options that are in software that we have that we don't kind of take a deep dive into, to kind of open up our world to what other things are available. So anyway, long intro to say that there are three that I think of when I think of Microsoft Office that I use quite a bit, and that I come back to. So the option feature in Excel, so I have Excel up here, is going to be in your file section here and then all the way down to options. And so it'll bring up a Excel options catalog box. This will happen in as well in OneNote and Word and PowerPoint and so on and so forth. And the first thing that I want to show you is something that it will affect all Microsoft Office products once you select this. So the first thing is that if you go to General, and you go down to personalize your copy of Microsoft Office, what you can do is you can change your Office theme. So for example, this bar up here, the default for all Microsoft products is the color corresponding with the icon. So for example, if I'm in PowerPoint, the ribbon at the top is going to be orange. If I'm in Excel, green, Word, blue, and OneNote, purple. So anyway, I like having that consistent across. I also like kind of seeing the data and having that be kind of the focal point when I'm opening various Microsoft products. So what I do is I go to General and personalize your copy of Microsoft Office, and I switch this to black. So it'll affect all Microsoft products, like I said. So if I open up Word, now it'll be black is the ribbon in the background. And so there are different options. The first one, like I said, the default is going to be system settings, but you can use white, black, dark gray, and colorful is also a fun option. So that's something kind of to play around with. In certain Microsoft products, you also can kind of customize the ribbon where it'll show like balloons or maybe even school supplies is something that I've seen as an optionality. So that's the first one, is to go into your general options and personalize your Microsoft Office. The second one I would say is a little more helpful just from a knowing how you work. And what I mean by that is that lots of software that you have actually has a default save feature. So, say you're working and the program crashes. That sucks. You lose lost work, what have you. And so, a lot of software now have built in a way to kind of autosave on a routine basis so that if that happens and it crashes, it'll pick up back where that interval was set. So for example, in Excel, you're going to have a default of 10. So 10 minutes is kind of the default. If you don't change anything, it'll save every 10 minutes. If you are working at lightning speed, hopefully you're watching my hotkeys videos and you're really getting things done in more than 10 minutes. So, a 10-minute time span really does cover like a lot of progress that you could have made on your spreadsheet. So what you would do is you would switch this down. Usually my kind of rule of thumb is 5 minutes. I've seen some people do 2. It kind of slows down your computer if you have it like the auto recovery feature on at like a super minute level, but I think 5 minutes is a great switch to make sure that you're kind of picking up on things that you don't want to lose. Those are the first two, the general options for kind of the color, the fun stuff, and then saving to make sure that you are not upset with Microsoft products. And then the third thing I'll say is this is actually something that I used in my past life as an auditor. One of the things that we use a lot is we use arrows, and that is an object on Excel. So, for example, if we're saying where we got each piece of the data, so for as you can see here, this ID says A, so maybe later on you have a legend that says A, we got this from Johanna on this day, and this is, where the system got this detail. So that's very common for an auditor to kind of like trace back so someone can like recreate everything that you did. So you really want to kind of keep clean, this is where this column comes from, and so someone can recreate it the following year or even in the current year and see what differences they get. So as a part of that, a way to be a little more efficient is you can insert arrows on things. So for example, if I got columns A through E in one system, I would do an arrow across. So it's like A, and then the rest of these columns match as well. And so arrows are something that I use like quite a bit in Excel, actually. And I feel like when I open Excel files, a lot of them don't have that. But what you might want to check to see is, so, I get this Excel file and I see that there's an A here, but nothing for these columns. Maybe there is a arrow in here that is actually hidden. And what that means is if you go to advanced settings and you go all the way down to display options for this workbook, what you can see is that for objects, show and then nothing, it hides objects. So some people's Excel files, when they open them, the default is on nothing. Or, if you get it from a client or you get it from someone else, their setting might have been on nothing. So in order to switch that, all you have to do is click all, and I click OK, and now I can see this arrow here. And so just for those that are interested, if you go to Insert and Illustrations and go to Shapes, these are where that comes into play, all of these objects. So if I click here and I hold down the Shift key, it'll keep it straight. I can go to shape format and change, like, give it a shadow, give it a color, and those sorts of things. So anyway, if you open your Excel file and you're like, I swear I put arrows in here to kind of demonstrate one thing or another, you might want to check options in advanced and then make sure that that is toggled to all so that you can kind of see all the objects that you put on your Excel spreadsheet. So I think the options settings of pretty much any software is really less used, but I think sometimes when you dig deep and you kind of look through and see what is available, it does make it more fun. So like my mom said, once you kind of look through and see how you can customize it, make it fit more of your personality, your lifestyle, whatever you're using the software for, it really makes the experience that much better. So I hope these three things are helpful. And if you're an auditor, let me know, because I think that last piece, I always had to Google it, like, how do I show my arrows again? So anyway, I hope this was helpful and that maybe you use some of these options in the future. So thanks so much.